Welcome to Sikshan Meet, a channel where you can learn important concepts and important questions related to board exams of computer science. Today, we are going to start a new chapter which is relational database and MySQL. Before that, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. Introduction. A database is defined as an organized collection of data about an entity or things. It is shared collection of related data information used to support the activities and decision making of a particular organization. It also allows the user to enter, access, and analyze their data quickly and easily. It serves as a container which may contain various database objects. Database is integrated as well as shared. Data character. Data character is the smallest unit of file organization which represents itself in the form of a bit that may be either 0 or 1. 8 bits make a byte which represents a character in a computer. A field is a set of characters which are used together to represent specific data elements. Now record is a collection of fields is termed as record. Now DBMS. DBMS full form of DBMS is database management system. DBMS software is allow us user to create, modify and control a database. A DBMS stores data in such a manner that it becomes easier and highly efficient to retrieve, manipulate and produce information. Thus a DBMS is an electronic or computerized record keeping system. DBMS gives us tool to number 1 store data in a structured way, number 2 query the database, number 3 sort and manipulate the data in the database, number 4 validate the data entered and check for inconsistencies, number 5 produce flexible reports both on screen and on paper. Now need for DBMS. DBMS is used to eliminate the problems like data redundancy and data inconsistency. Components of database system. Number 1 user, number 2 database application, number 3 DBMS, number 4 database. Now users can be of varied types, usually a DB administrator, system or application developers and end users. DBMS provide the following critical services to the users. Database creation. Our DBMS helps the user in creating and defining the required data or in turn a database. Database maintenance. It helps in maintenance of data and database by addition, deletion, modification and regular updation of the tables and its records. Database processing. A DBMS performs one of the major tasks of queries processing. It processes the queries or information requirement of users and retrieves necessary information from the data. Database application. Database application may be personal, departmental, enterprise and internal. Now DBMS software that allows user to define, create, access and manage database is termed as DBMS. For example, MySQL, Oracle, etc. Database. It is a collection of logically related data. Now advantages of a DBMS. Number 1 elimination of data redundancy, number 2 data consistency, number 3 sharing of data, number 4 reduce programming effort, number 5 database enforces standards, number 6 improved data integrity, number 7 privacy and security, number 8 economical, number 9 improved backup and recovery system, number 10 meeting enterprise requirements that individual requirements. DBMS models. Data models define how the logical structure of a database is modeled. Data models are used to implement abstraction in a DBMS. Our data model should be able to give best data representation and should possess the following desirable characteristics. Number 1, data models should be presented graphically using the diagrams and symbols. Number 2, data representation in a data model should have no data redundancy. Number 3, a data model should be made available and shared by various applications. Number 4, data represented should be consistent, stable, and valid in all aspects. Types of data models. Data models are categorized into three different categories. Number one, hierarchical data model. In a hierarchical model, records are organized as tree rather than graphs. Represents a hierarchy of parent and child data segment. It is represented by an upside down tree. Hierarchical model depicts one to many relationship between a parent and child segment. It is simple in operation and in concept. It promotes data sharing. Parent child relationship promotes data integrity. The limitations of these models are: number 1, it is suitable for hierarchical relationships only. Number 2, implementation is complex. Number 3, dependency on parent node, which is root node, and its deletion can cause deletion of all child node and in turn the entire model. Now, network data model. Network data model is a database model conceived as a flexible way of representing objects and their relationships. It consists of a collection of records connected to one another through links. The network model replaces the hierarchical model with a graph. Its advantages are: it can handle more relationships type. Number 2, data access is easy and more flexible. Number 3, it includes DDL, data definition language, as well as DML, data manipulation language. It promotes better data integrity. Its limitations are: the system is quite complicated in structure since there are several number of links, which also limits efficiency. Now, relational data model. A most popular data model in DBMS is a relational data model. It is a more scientific and stable model than hierarchical or network model since there are no pointers involved with the records, and in case of any fault or error these pointers may result in inconsistency among the record and can lead to reduced data integrity. In this model, data is organized in two-dimensional tables called relations. Characteristics of relational database are: number 1, data is conceptually represented as an orderly arrangement of data into rows and columns, termed as a relation. Number 2, each relation is represented as a table. Number 3, column described in a table are attributes that belong to an entity which is modeled as a table. Number 4, every row in a table represents a single entity. Number 5, all the values in a relation are scalar. Now, advantages of a relational model are as follows. Number 1, relational models provide structural independence by using independent tables. Changes made in the table structure do not affect the data access or other application programs. It is represented in the form of tables, so it is simple and easier to understand. Tabular view also provides easier database design. Data organization and manipulation is easy, flexible, and faster. Now, the limitations of a relational data models are: RDMS incurs hardware and system software or overheads. Number 2, the size of database becomes very large. Now, next topic is relational database. A relational database is a type of database that stores and provides access to data points that are related to one another. Basic terminologies related to a relational database. Number 1, entity. An entity is something that exists and about which we can store some information. Number 2, attribute. In a relational table, an attribute is a set of values of a particular type. Number 3, tuple. Each row in a table is known as tuple. Number 4, cardinality of relation. It is the number of records or tuples in the relation. Number 5, degree of relation. Number of columns or attributes is known as the degree of relation. Number 6, domain of relation. It defines the kind of data represented by the attribute. It is the set of all possible values that can attribute may contain. Number 7, Body of the relation. It consists of an unordered set of zero or more tuples. Now, next topic is database keys. Keys are a very important part of relational database. They allow us to identify an attribute or a set of attributes on the basis of which a table is identified. Number one, primary key. A primary key is a set of one or more attributes which uniquely identifies a tuple slash row in a table. It is always unique in nature. It arranges the table in its own order. It cannot be redeclared or left null. Number 2, candidate key. A candidate key refers to all the attributes in a relation that are candidate or capable of becoming a primary key. Number 3, alternate key. A candidate key that is not a primary key is called alternate key. In other words, any attribute that is a candidate for the primary key. Number 4, foreign key. A foreign key is a known key attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of another table. In other words, a primary key in some other table having relationship with the current or original table. Now, next topic is introduction of SQL. Database management system is not a new concept and was first implemented in 1960s. With time, database technology evolved a lot while uses and expected functionalities of database and increases immensely. SQL, its full form is Structured Query Language. SQL is a standard language for accessing and manipulating databases. SQL commands are used to create, transform, and retrieve information for relational database management system and are also used to create interface between a user and database. By using SQL commands, one can search for any data in the database and perform other functions like creating tables, adding rows, etc. It can be freely and easily downloaded from the website www.mysql.org. It is fully secured, reliable, and fast, and possesses far better functionalities than many other commercial RDBMS available in the market. Feature of SQL. SQL is the most common language used to create, operate, update, manipulate, and communicate with the database. It has the following salient features and strong processing capabilities. Number 1, it can retrieve data from a database through query processing. It can insert records in a database. Number 3, it can update records in a database. Number 4, it can create new tables in a database. Number 5, it can create views in a database. Advantages of SQLs. SQL has the following advantage, which are: number 1, ease of use. It is very easy to learn and use. Number 2, large volume of databases can be handled quite easily. Number 3, no coding required. Number 4, portable. Number 5, SQL is not a case sensitive language. Classification of SQL statements. SQL is the language used to interact with database. First, DDL, data definition language. DDL is a part of SQL permits database tables to be created or deleted. It also defines indices, specifies key links between tables, and imposes constraints on tables. Examples of DDL commands are SQL are create database, use command, show command, create table, alter table, drop table, etc. Now DML. DML stands for data manipulation language. Data manipulation language is a part of SQL that helps a user manipulate data. Several DML commands available are insert into statement, update statement, delete statement. Now, difference between DDL and DML commands. First, DDL commands stand for data definition language, whereas DML commands stand for data manipulation language. Number 2, DDL commands allow us to perform tasks related to data definition, whereas DML commands are used to manipulate data. Number 3, examples of DDL commands are create, alter, etc. Whereas examples of DML commands are insert into, update, delete, etc. Number 4, DDL is not further classified, whereas DML commands are further classified. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like it and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Thank you.